Well, Rob, it is one of our favorite segments of the week. That's no secret. And if you're trying to figure out what to eat this weekend, pay attention. It is time for Foodie Friday.
Yeah, but this isn't a traditional segment tonight. We're taking a look back at some of the favorites from our very own local expert.
We've visited a lot of interesting places on Foodie Friday, and as we make plans for a tasty future, it's time to remember some delicious dishes from our past. I'm Foodie Photog Mike, and these are a few of my favorite foods from the past year. Let's start with Ristorante Antipasti in Ocean City. When we visited, Chef Fausto and his crew crafted a trio of classic pasta dishes for us to try. The dish that immediately impressed me was probably the simplest, the pappardelle à limone. This lemon cream pasta has everything you want in a summer snack.
Man, it's so luxurious. And it's not heavy, it's still really light. The noodle is tender, it's perfectly buttery, but it's got that brightness from the lemon zest.
After watching Chef assemble this tasty treasure from basically 4 ingredients, I was convinced that sometimes less really is more. On the other hand, when it's cold outside and I'm craving something savory to get me through the day, I think of the Cheshire white pork chop at the Pines. Oh, did I mention it's big?
This is not what my brain thinks of when I think pork chop. This is probably the thickest pork chop I have yet seen.
Chef takes his time searing and butter basting the pork chop before finishing it in the oven, and the results are well worth it.
Immediately we get some nice fattiness, really good kind of like caramelization from all that like basting that Chef did. It's even like the skin has a nice crunch to it.
Also, the pork chop sits on top of a rich white bean cassoulet with garlic sausage and confit chicken. With this much meat, you might want to bring a friend. Finally, to say I've eaten a few hot wings in my time would be an understatement. It's pretty much the first thing I try at any new pub I visit. But Easy Speak Spirits in Milford introduced me to a new flavor combination.
Chef, they said they make their own buffalo sauce, and I believe it. It has just a slightly different flavor to it. I don't know if it's like the peppers or whatever that's in here.
It turns out they smoke the wings before they finish them in the pizza oven.
It's the smokiness, that's right. It must be the smokiness in the chicken. That really does add something, doesn't it?
I had no idea chicken wings could have such a variety of savory flavors before you added any sauce.
See, now I'm curious what other wing flavors would taste like with this smokiness in this chicken.
From pasta to pork chop to wings, it's clearly a tough job on Foodie Friday.
I have to imagine it was hard for Mike to narrow it down to just those few dishes, because when you get him talking about his visits on Foodie Friday, he just gets he's so into it. He and so knowledgeable about food. So
I love it.
We're gonna have a very special edition of Foodie Friday again next week with part 2 of Mike's favorites. So tune in for that. And hey, if you have a suggestion for us for Foodie Friday, just email us at newsroom@47abc.com.